Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is great to be with you all here in Surfside, California, where it's another gorgeous morning. Happy holidays to you all. I think we can officially say that. We've moved past Thanksgiving, so we can even say Merry Christmas, I think, at this point in time, as we're right on the edge of December. We still have some really nice weather. It's a little chilly, no question about it, and there is the probability of a few drops here after midnight mostly. For the most part, though, the ocean surface is going to remain really calm. It should be really good until we get to about Sunday afternoon, and then we're going to have a little bit of blow up. But from now through the weekend, I think you've got good weather. If you're thinking about a bluefin tuna trip, don't forget that latest trip on the new low end. It was a good one. Not big fish, but lots of them. They were biting the fly line bait. It was excellent fishing. The Pride out of 22nd Street Landing is out there right now, and I've got a sneaking suspicion they're going to come up with a really good catch. They'll be back in to 22nd Street Landing on Thursday morning. Hopefully I'll be there to record another nice catch just like we had on the Freedom recently. And of course we'll cover Ensenada, we'll cover the coastal regions, the surf fishing, and everything more here this morning. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing and that first delicious swig of my Java. Oh my God, that's good. Hey, it is great to be back with you all. Welcome here to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. What an extraordinary show we had for you last night. Sam De La Torre was excellent. Over 2 hours of a live podcast, and we just never stopped getting great questions from the Friedman Adventure family. Thank you all for participating. It was a great show. It's archived now, so you can go take a look at it. Also, yesterday evening, I posted a video about our trip down to Bluefin Sportfishing in Ensenada, where we had that memorable day with the kids from orphanage in the Valle de Guadalupe. It was a beautiful time. And that video not only covers that event, but it takes you to Tecate, Baja California, where you will find the best carne asada on the planet. Take my word for it. You're going to want to check that out. Then we go over to Playa Saldamando, maybe a place in Baja you've never visited, but you really should. We'll show you Playa Saldamando, a great breakfast spot in Ensenada. The next time you're there, you're definitely going to want to eat here. And then, of course, that beautiful event that was put on by the great folks at Bluefin Sportfishing in Ensenada. Just a beautiful day. We can't thank them enough. We can't thank all the people who showed up enough. Check that video out right now. It's up for you to take a look at right after the morning briefing. All right, hey, this Saturday, La Mirada, we're going to be separating clothing. I know, it doesn't sound that thrilling, but I'll be there. I'll be there to throw stuff and have fun, and we always have a really good time. So what we have is a lot of clothing that's been donated to us for Christmas and Dia de Reyes and other events down in Mexico, and we're going to take it to some impoverished areas. We're going to get some stuff down to Cedros Island, which was hit by the hurricane earlier this year, and then we're also going to concentrate on several different little pueblitos in northern Baja California, perhaps beyond that. But we have all this clothing, and we need to separate it into men's, women's, kids. That's it. So we're all going to get together in La Mirada. If you can come down this Saturday, so we're going to be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in that time frame. You can show up for an hour, a half hour, the whole day, whatever. Come on down and lend a hand. We'll have a good time, and we'll be able to separate all that clothing and make a difference in the world working together. So there is Greg's phone number for you. All you have to do is send him a text, and he'll send you all the details, and we'll see you in La Mirada at 9 a.m. or anytime after that, whatever's convenient for you. So really looking forward to that, no question about it. Don't forget the Danny Cadota Show, new show on the Friedman Adventures channel, airs Thursday evening. Can't wait for that great show. Danny, of course, is so knowledgeable. He's such a nice guy, and he'll be taking your questions in a live show on Thursday night right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget also to pound that thumbs up button. Give us a like here this morning. It really means a lot to us. Thank you so much for all you do to help to elevate Friedman Adventures. It is deeply appreciated. All right, let's go south of the border where the bottom bite is really excellent right now. The guys out of Bluefin, Arnie Sportfishing, Costa Baja, to name 3 great operations down there in northern Baja, near Ensenada. Out there on Punta Banda is where Bluefin is. More toward the city is where you'll find Costa Baja, our friend Diego Nuno, as well as Arnie Sportfishing, our friend Arnie. And those guys have had some exceptional bottom fishing here recently. A lot of lingcod and reds and boccaccio and fine eating bottom fish that you can make a delicious ceviche with, or you can make some of the best, freshest, greatest fish tacos you could ever imagine. Really great fishing for that. That is not to say that you don't get an occasional yellowtail and at times copious amounts of nice size bonito down there in that neck of the woods. So there is still some really good fishing, mostly the bottom bite as water temperatures have cooled down. And as Victor from Bluefin explains, those big lings like to move into the shallows in this colder water. So we'll see if they move into the Soledad bank down there near Santo Tomas here very, very soon. And the guys from Bluefin will run all the way down there and fish. They really don't have a leash on them. I mean, they will go the distance to catch you some fish. So really good down there in that neck of the woods. Is there a chance for a yellowfin tuna or a dorado? Heck no. They've got their fur coats on, man. They've taken off for Acapulco where it's nice and sunny and warm. They're on a beach chair right now, enjoying the warm weather. They don't want anything to do with this cold water. Is there a chance for a bluefin tuna? Yeah, there truly is. And yellowtail, we've mentioned it, sometimes Todos Santos and other areas, the yo-yo iron wintertime bite can get to the point where it's ridiculously good. It can really rock. It's not there yet. We don't see any sign of it yet, but we are monitoring that. And Victor and Arnie and Diego Nuno, they will all keep us in touch with all the very, very latest. So we'll continue to monitor that for you very closely to see if that indeed is going to get on the bite. All right, up to San Diego. And the boys that are going offshore, and a lot of guys have thrown in the towel. The New Loan just had their last trip of the year, and it was a good one. 67 on the bluefin tuna, a 3-day trip for 18 guys. Great fishing, 18 to 25 pound BFT, biting a fly line bait, really good. So 25 pound, they were finicky, so they wanted the lighter. Opsin USA is the fluoro we like, and fluorocarbon an absolute must. Sometimes you had to drop down to a smaller hook, like a number 2 size hook. That was very, very important to your success. Other times you can go up to a 2.0 size hook, and as always, choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. That was their last trip, and many guys have thrown in the towel. I mean, we are knocking on the door now of Christmas, so a lot of guys are saying, okay, we're done for the year. But there are still some boats that are going to head out to Tannerbank, and it looks to me like this weather should be okay. It's going to be a little breezy, but not bad at all until Sunday afternoon. So getting out there, getting anchored up, and catching that's mostly smaller grade bluefin tuna. You do see that 100-pound stuff busting up the water, and every once in a while somebody will hang one of those fish. So they are still around, but it's mostly that smaller grade fish. And who knows, the Pride, knowing Sean Roberts and Michael Potvin are probably on that fish right now. They're probably hammering away at some good bluefin tuna fishing. It wouldn't surprise me one bit at all. Is that fish here to stay? Will it remain through the wintertime? That's hard to say. You know, part of it right now is the lack of coverage. When you have 15 boats out there, somebody's going to find them. When you have one boat out there, let's say the Pride, it's a lot more difficult game. It really takes a little bit of lady luck on your side. Mostly it takes hard work, getting the intel, finding out where the New Loan made their catch, checking out that area. Maybe the fish have moved, looking at water temperature charts, finding the warm water, getting over there, checking it out, and then you find the fish finally. So once again, it is a more difficult kind of prospect when you have fewer boats. But that doesn't mean those fish are not here, and it doesn't mean they won't remain. As long as water temperatures stay kind of good and we have bait in the area, those two factors will have this bluefin tuna. So who knows, we may be catching BFT into the new year. And the Freedom, for example, out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, they're ready to go, and they'll be ready through February. They couldn't get a yard date, meaning they're not going to go into the boat yard until February. So they're kind of on standby. If something pops up and bites, boom, they're on it. Amigo down there out of 22nd Street Landing. Something pops up, boom, they might run an open party trip. I might even put one together with them. So we'll continue to watch it very, very closely. So remember, you're going to need that 25 pound, but don't leave your heavy at home. You might even run into some really good fishing in terms of the nighttime bite. When you're fishing that nighttime bite, you're definitely going to want to have that 100 pound, 130 pound Spectra, and then those knife jigs in the 300 to 600 gram range. Color seems to be irrelevant. I'm not huge on the glow in the dark. I know a lot of guys are. I don't think it matters that much. If you feel more confident using it, if it makes you feel more confident, then do it. It'll make a big difference to your success. Little breeze here this morning, but not too bad. And you can look out there and see that gorgeous ocean. There's not really any wind on it at all, but as I said, it's a little overcast here this morning, and we might get a drizzle or two. You know, here in Southern California, everybody on the road start to panic when we get that much rain. So it doesn't look like much, and it doesn't look like wind is going to be a huge factor over the next few days, and that is really, really good news. So offshore, that's what we got for you right now. There's still some bluefin tuna around. Out there on Tannerbank, you're likely to catch a yellowtail or two also, so you do have that. And there's also some really excellent bottom fishing if you care to partake in that. Incidentally, everybody, over in Vietnam right now, my friend Sean Hardigan and Mimi Pham. Sean runs the Mission Bell out of Point Loma Sportfishing, and he's having a ball in Vietnam. I love that country. I had so much fun when I went over there. Spent some time when I was a teacher in China. I popped over there and had just an extraordinary time. And of course, anywhere there's water, you can be sure that Mimi and Sean will be fishing. So they're having a great time in Vietnam, and I hope they just continue to enjoy the people, the food, the culture, and of course the fishing. So my hat's off to those guys. Hope they're having a great time, and it looks like they absolutely are. All right, let's talk islands. Down there at Todos Santos Island, we can even go down to San Martin Island. The guys out of San Quintin are experiencing extraordinarily good bottom fishing. A few yellows down there also. Nothing wrong with that kind of a bite up there. At Todos Santos off of Ensenada, mostly rockfish. Don't see any yellows, but along the Punta Banda area, there's quite a bit of bonita and occasional yellowtail in there. Up at the Coronado Islands, mostly a rockfish bite right now. It's been quite good. There was some yo-yo iron yellowtail a month or so ago. Water temperatures dropped, and we haven't seen a whole lot of them around. There's occasional fish taken, but not all that much. San Clemente Island, a few yellows, a little bit of bass, mostly rockfish. Catalina Island, some really good bonita fishing with some good rock fishing going along with that. Santa Barbara Island has some big yellowtail on it with good rock fishing. And then San Nicolas Island, extraordinarily good sheepshead, bottom fishing, whitefish, rockfish. If you get on a boat going to San Nicolas, I highly recommend you do it. It's really good fishing. And you know, some of you will object to rock cod fishing or rock fishing, like there's no fight to it. There's none of that. There is when you're fishing sheepshead in that shallow water. Those whitefish pull pretty hard too, especially those big ones. Nicholas is great. Channel Island's great rock fishing as usual. What can I tell you? I mean, that place is just such a wonderful venue for rockfish. And with all the squid that we've seen, the big influx of market squid up and down our coast this year, we are going to see some incredible white sea bass fishing again up there in the Channel Islands in the spring. It just seems like the food chain is set up perfectly for that kind of a scenario to unfold itself. Along the coast, a few yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker. I know down by the water tower, PCH and Anderson, there's been some folks down there that have been doing quite well down there on a mix of yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker, and also a few halibut in the surf. Lucky crab lures seem to be the best way to accomplish that. As the water continues to get cooler, we'll see more barred perch moving in, especially in that northern sector, maybe the Santa Monica Bay, and then north of there up toward Oxnard, Ventura, all that area, Rincon area, really good barred perch fishing. Good barred perch fishing. Also down there south of the border, the San Quintin area, Playa Socorro. Really, you can find some excellent fishing going on there, as well as some awesome fishing up there around the Ensenada area. So we'll watch that for you. The cover of today's video is a giant yellowfin tuna taken on board the Intrepid. Long range fishing is pretty darn good right now. There's been good wahoo fishing on the Polaris Supreme here recently. Intrepid with that big one. There's a few big yellowfin tuna, some decent fishing going on right now on smaller grade yellowfin tuna. Quite a bit of yellowtail for most of the guys. American Angler just getting to Alijos Rocks with Wendy Toshihara from Iserline. Wendy, send you all my best and hope you have an extraordinary trip. I hope you're pulling on lots of big yellows here this morning. All right, Saturday, La Mirada. Come on, what are you waiting for? Let's have some fun. We'll divide up some clothing. We'll get ready to take all this stuff south of the border. Incidentally, if you'd like to join us on one of those south of the border trips, you can do that. Make sure you send Greg that text. There's his number. Text Greg right now. Wake him up and tell him I'll be there on Saturday so we can plan on how many people we are indeed going to have in La Mirada this Saturday morning, 9 to 3. We would love to see you there. All the details when you text Greg, so make sure you do that here this morning. All right, everybody, don't forget, we've got that great video on visiting Tecate and Playa Saldamondo and the wonderful day with the kids from that orphanage in the Valle de Guadalupe, courtesy of Bluefin Sport Fishing. A magnificent day that I will never ever forget. And also Sam De La Torre put on a clinic last night with all of you and your great questions. Deeply appreciate that. We're going to have some great events coming up here before Christmas, trying to put together a kids fishing trip where, remember, the last trip parents did not attend. This one you'll be able to attend. I'm putting that together. Stay tuned for details on that here very, very shortly. And then also we are going to have several great raffles to help support our efforts in Mexico. And I'll be letting you know about that. If you can help us with that, that would be great. Also, here's my text now. If you'd like to volunteer and help on any of those projects, just send Philip a text. That's me. That's 657-227-6459. All right, beautiful day. Going to get a little bit of rain, but the wind seems like it's going to be really, really nice. Hopefully that bluefin tuna will continue to chew out there for the pride today. If anything happens, we'll special update you. And don't forget the Danny Cadota Show, Thursday night right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Lots of people out walking around enjoying this beautiful Wednesday morning. I hope you are doing the same, and I hope to see you really, really soon, my friend.